Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. We are 4 people in our group and we will be delivering our presentation on the tourism law of some East Asian countries. So we have chosen some countries like China, Japan, Taiwan and Indonesia. Right now I'll be talking about the tourism law in China.
I'm Sumaykta Priya, ID 201434557. Today I'm going to represent Japan.
Hello, I'm Najma Maharatri, ID is 201434558. Today I'll talk about Indonesian law for tourists.
I am Namur Nasib, ID now 201-43455, and today I will be presenting the tourism law of Taiwan.
Thanks to our Honorable Miss for giving us the chance to know about some tourism laws of different countries. So in this stage, we need to know what is law. Law is basically some establishments or rules or regulations in order for conducting something or in order for doing something. So our topic is, what is tourism law? So the travel industry laws allowed a mix of some government or non-government rules in different kind of perspectives in order for traveling to various kind of destinations all over the world. So different countries have different laws or regulations. So we will be talking about some East Asian countries' tourism law. East Asia is known as the home to 1/5 of human population. We know that China is known as one of the most densely populated countries all over the world. So in order to entering in China, you need to follow some rules and regulations. Even for tourism, as China has one of the most beautiful destinations of the world, so you need to go through some rules and regulations. First of all, how to behave. You know, Chinese people have their own culture and they are really polite towards their culture. They're using their own language for almost everything. So you need to respect their culture and also you need to respect the people over there. So you have to behave gently over there. The second one is staying out of trouble. If you go and visit China, you need to stay yourself out of trouble every time, because you should never go for any conflict with the people of China. The third one is carrying passport all the time whenever traveling to any of the destinations of China. You know, this is really very important for China to carry your passport all the time, because Chinese police or the army, maybe they are always conscious about the tourists. If anything happens there, you must need to prove your identity. The next one is try not to let your visa expire. If your visa gets expired, it's not for China only, but it's for pretty much all the countries of the world. If your visa gets expired, then you'll be in trouble. But in China, they follow it very strictly. So always be conscious about that. The next one is confined military areas. Chinese army has one of the largest army base throughout the whole world. They have maybe the first largest army in the world. So they're very conscious and they are strictly following all the rules and regulations. You should never go to visit those areas where army base may be established. The next one is entering and leaving China. In order for entering and leaving China, you need to go through some processes and you need to be very conscious about that. If you make any mistake over there, you'll be definitely in trouble. So these are pretty much some rules and regulations or laws of the tourism in China. So if you want to travel there, you must need to follow those. In this point, I'm gonna be passing the rest of the presentation to my another fellow member, Sumaya, to continue the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Japan is most beautiful country in the world because of the beautiful scenery of the 4 consecutive seasons, the forests, the culture, the history, the stunning and picturesque natural views, the charms of cherry blossom, tea ceremony and legend. Japan has most popular tourist destinations including Tokyo, Hiroshima, Mount Fuji, ski resort such as Hokkaido and Nagashima, etc. This tourism industry has many laws. The law clearly positions tourism for first ever as one of the pillars of Japanese policy in the 21st century. How many tourists go to Japan each year? Number of foreign visitors traveling to Japan counted to around 4.12 million, a sharp decrease from 31.88 million is the person year previous year. Every tourist visiting should know you should always have your passport with you when you go out. You are not allowed to work on a tourist visa. You should not smoke in public places. You should obey traffic rules. You can't drink alcohol if you are under 20 years. 10 things we should never do in Japanese law. Don't break the rules. Chopsticks attitude in Japan. Don't wear shoes indoors when visiting Japanese home. Skipping the lines when waiting for trains. Avoid eating on the go when you are in Japan. Don't get in the bathtub before shower fast. Don't leave it to tip. Don't blow nose in public. Avoid and going to receiving and giving with things with one hand. Don't serve yourself. Now this floor is your Ratri. Take your time.
Thank you so much, Sumaya Islam. So first of all, Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the most marvelous country spread out over vast part of South Asia between India and Pacific oceans, full of gorgeous long beaches and wonderful nature locations. And Indonesia has become one of the world's premium tourist hotspot. More than 20 million people visit there per year, and a tourist can visit Indonesia with having a pretty good time and exploring new places with some guidelines, rules, and or it can be laws in Indonesia. So in this video I will mention some laws for Indonesian travelers they should know. First of all, a tourist must have complete document. There will be authorities, they will check the documents during visit. Secondly, narcotics. Narcotics are highly restricted. So if any traveler bring narcotics with them with a huge amount, then the rest of all take on court. Thirdly, dress modestly to show some respect to Indonesian peoples. Do not stay beyond visa limit time. It can give much punishment and surprisingly finished with prison punishment if it takes excessively long. Gambling activities are also illegal as like narcotics. So if any traveler got engaged with gambling activities, it will get prison. And respect the child protection law. Also, a tourist cannot buy legal land in Indonesia. So be aware from those local people who promise you to give something from this land. And if any traveler, Indonesia traveler, want to drive, then Indonesian driving license is required. Identification is must because it's needed for stuff like hotel booking and rent, numerous different things. And then do not try to vandalism. Doing vandalism by breaking some important stuff can get prison also. And then do not PDA, and also weapons are not allowed, totally not allowed. So don't bring any kind of weapons. Lastly, the cash should change on the bank because for the money safety. So all of these are the Indonesian laws that a tourist should follow these rules. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ratri, for the flow. Talking about Taiwan, we must acknowledge that this island-based country was ruled by both China and Japan in the past times, but still it gained its independence. And now it is one of the most important country in Asia. Now here's the thing, if a tourist want to have a taste of Chinese and Japanese culture but also acknowledge the modern life, then Taiwan is the best place for that person. Now as we are talking about the tourism laws, there are many tourism laws, but I'm gonna take a really short time and tell some major and life-changing tourism laws which will help the tourist in each and every step of visiting Taiwan. Let's begin. Now here's the thing, as like every country, a tourist should carry his passport and the contact info with him or her, so that he or she can talk to the local persons and also rent a hotel. And also if he or she faces the police, then that tourist can provide all the information to the police. Now here's the thing. The second thing a tourist must know that in Taiwan they should communicate with the locals, because the locals always wants to help the tourist, but no one actually talk to them that much. So the tourist must talk to the locals, and that's how a tourist can enhance the pleasure of tourism in Taiwan. Now here's the thing. In Taiwan, the road laws are not that much heavily enforced, but a tourist must follow the road etiquettes, or else the police can catch them, and that's gonna make a really big trouble. Then it comes to the point where it gets a little weird, because in Taiwan vaping is banned and it's heavily enforced by the law. So all the vapors, that's a very bad sign. Now here's the thing, as like every other countries, the adultery is not allowed in Taiwan. So that also a tourist should also keep that in mind. That was all in the short presentation. Thank you so much for being with us for the whole time, and I believe you loved our presentation, and I hope that you have learned a lot about East Asian tourism law. So visit East Asia, be safe, and happy tourism.